that, yes.
Yeah, sure,
And
because
and
reality couldn't be fluid.
I hand wave dismiss all kinds of things. This is true. I'll freely admit that. And the only question, Jeremy, is do you want to hand wave dismiss the same things with me so we can have a conversation? And we can reach assumptions and conclusions about the world that we share.
Wait, can I read this now, though, man?
If you want to do this with me, Jeremy, we can do this together.
I'm going to read it, though. Triangulation, geodetic surveying, okay?
Or we can listen to wits that try to divert from our conversation.
This is about the conversation.
Or we can listen to wits that try to make sure you and I.
This is about the conversation.
Hold on, Maggie. We got all day. Hold on.
All right, so triangulation. A geodetic line between 2 points generally projects on a state grid as a curve which is always concave toward the axis of the projection. In computing corrections for angles, it is best to compute the corrections for each direction separately, and then the correction for the angle as the difference between the corrections of the two directions involved. So that's on the geodetic and grid angle state coordinate system.
Okay, Jeremy, did I help you at all?
Well, yeah. Did you not hear the correction there? It says that it says it projects it on a state grid as a curve, right, which is always concave toward the axis of the projection. In computing corrections for angles, it's best to compute the corrections for each direction separately. So it's saying they have to make the correction for the spherical angles. Literally right here, and the title of it is Geodetic and Grid Angles State Coordinate Systems. And I'll link it.
I already understood all that. You didn't need to read that to me. I got it already. The question is...
Then that's a cool story that you don't want to acknowledge it.
I already acknowledged it. They make the corrections to make those angles 180. That's what they do. That's what you just read. That's exactly what I said.
Why would they change reality? If the reality of the angles is it's over 180, why change them?
Because, Jeremy, this is the thing you got to draw on a whiteboard like you did the other thing in order to understand it.
That's literally not what this says. Literally what it says is that whenever you project no, this dude is so ridiculous. It says that when you project it, there will need to be corrections made. That's what it says. I just read it.
Yes. Why will there need to be corrections made?
Yeah, because whenever you start to project it spherically, then you have to take what you saw and impose the arc length. It's inherently different geometry.
Hey, Witsy, can you post the link to that? I have a feeling based on the little bits that you've said that it's talking about a very specific application of data and not about the measurement that was actually made.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, sure, probably.
Where is Phil Ko to tell us what the correction is? That's what I want to know.
Jeremy, don't run away. It doesn't serve you.
I'm not running away.
And also, about this whole...
I can walk you through this again, man. I can.
Well, it's a little busy right now.
If you want to. Okay.
Let's let Witsit go through it with you.
No, Witsit's useless.
No, he's good.
No, he's so stuck in his need not to believe this thing. He will reject everything that's
wow, what a loser.
He sees through the bullshit.
No, he doesn't.
Dude, I hope this is somehow some proof for the Earth being involvement, but it's not.
This is just delusional, and he needs something to be true.
All right, dude. Yeah, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. I'm 28. I'm living my life. Worry about yourself. I pursue truth. Unequivocally, I don't care what losers think about me from the sidelines.
Loser.
Yeah, bro, losers.
Oh, you're mad.
I'm not mad. I'm just saying you're being a loser.
What makes us losers in life?
You're
what makes us losers in life?
Well, I don't know. If someone's pushing double my age and like acts like I'm stupid, but is highly obsessed with everything I've ever said and can recollect all of it, but constantly just feels the need to jump in from the sideline, cheerlead, and talk shit, it seems a little bit like a weirdo thing to do to me.
Or they're just purely, solid and content in their life, financially stable, and
I hope that you're financially stable once you're double my age.
or I have a particular interest in psychoses. Which I do.
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
You're a fascinating subject, Witsit.
That's cool, dude. You have this weird little fetish psychoanalyzing me. We get it.
Yeah.
I'm not double your age either, so.
I'm double your age, Witsit, and I'll take you on.
No.
With me, you'll
believe in fairy tales
because you know it's me.
You believe in like every fairy tale that you were told.
Yeah, but you can't even come up with the reason why they're more than 180 degrees every time. You'd have to deny the reality itself. You have to deny that they actually get those measurements. You've refused to accept that that is what happens in the real world when people go do this thing you're talking about.
No.
And if you would ever go do that, you would find exactly the same thing.
You're looking over a distance.
Then you would sit there looking at your piece of paper thinking, how do I get more than 180 degrees every time I do this?
Well, it's because you're looking over a distance. You're looking over a distance.
You will never do it because it'll blow up your world.
I would love to do it. I just understand the presuppositions in the base form of the postulation. You seem to want to whistle past it and think it makes me stupid. So
blah, blah, blah.
You're asking if I don't run your fool's errand in a futile pursuit. I'm
yeah, lots of words in order to avoid doing this thing which you cannot allow yourself to do.
Oh my God. You're self-projecting because you still think we landed on the moon, a spinning rock.
There we go. Divert it back.
No, I'm just saying you're self-projecting. I'm not scared of truth. I would love to stop getting death threats. I would love to pull all the flat earth shit off my fucking social media so I could then have future employment opportunities. You sound like you're about to save the day, bro. Feel free to enlighten me with your home run proof of curvature. I'm stoked, bro.
I'm with you, Witsit. I got kids and shit. I need to know.
Go grab a theodolite.
That it's not.
Go grab a theodolite. Whatever this device is.
It's a total station.
Okay, go grab a total station. And do it.
Okay, I know many people that have them, own businesses that use them constantly, every day.
Ask somebody to borrow one.
Okay, guess what they say?
Do it. And prove to yourself.
No, when you look out the 3 points and you have consistent line of sight, you have a 180-degree triangle. Now, whenever you're trying to say it's a little bit lower at times or something like that, and trying to act like
yourself.
If it looks a little bit lower through the atmosphere, then you're trying to then impose spherical trigonometry to interpret that data. And if you don't understand that, seems like that's a you problem.
No, it's definitely a you problem.
All right, sounds like a good story you got there, bro.
Mackie, we got the numbers.
There's a reason you won't do it, right?
Mackie,
same with you, Jeremy.
I will go do it. I'll tape all of it.
Mackie,
you don't want to know.
Wow, you're such a loser.
Mackie,
I can walk you through every step of this, Jeremy. Yeah, I can convince you.
I can walk you every step of the black swan. It'll be like just someone banging their head into a wall. Like you won't listen. You look at everything through an angle of bias, and you're self-projecting that onto me in a magnitude that's just unfounded. You're saying I'm scared to even look at something. I run errands for this room, researching the depths of everything challenge because it's so annoying. So stop self-projecting.
Well, how about the
greater than 180? Come back to me when you have an answer. All right?
I already answered it.
You haven't. You haven't come close to answering it.
What was my answer then?
Some about variation and some gibberish about elevations and all this other kind of nonsense.
Wow, so you don't even know what my answer was, but you know it.
That's what his answer was. I can answer it. It was due to the atmosphere condition.
Yes, I know. But somehow this atmosphere always makes greater angles.
Somehow you didn't know the answer of something you asked him.
Well, how come?
Okay, Rocky, how do you deal with the greater angles?
Why do the simple
the atmosphere
pictures?
Why is it always greater and never lesser?
Because that's how the optics work in atmosphere.
How is that true?
That's just
what kind of model of optics do you have in which things always bend, what do you call outwards, regardless of which way they're pointing? And here's the thing, right?
I didn't make it. If I did, I could give you that answer.
Here's the interesting thing, Rocky. Here's what we can do. You can set up this thing, and so instead of having a triangle, you can create like a hexagon, and you can put the one in the middle of it so you have multiple triangles all connecting to each other, right? And according to what you're saying, there always has to be a variance towards out of something. Yet the one angle that you point at the one in common that's the right side of the triangle on the one and the left side of the triangle on the other are going to be in the same point. And you can't possibly have out on both of those. And so your whole nonsense about atmospheric distortion simply falls apart upon first consideration. But you never allow yourself to consider that because your brain stops right after you say it.
Then if you don't
exactly what you do when you know it.
Which total station do you use when you do this observation?
Have you done one?
Which one do you use?
I never have.
Spouting off about. Yeah,
that's Rocky. Yes, Rocky, this measurement they're talking about is 100. Hold on.
I will freely admit I listened to people like this this guy that Witsit debated the night who destroyed him. I listened to him. I trust that he wrote down the numbers he saw on his machine accurately. I trust that he did all these things exactly as he said he did them, and he has no reason to lie to me. Yes, I trust.
This is a distance of a maximum of 200. 37 meters.
Now, if you want to deny what he says, then I would say it's incumbent upon you to do it yourself and show where he did it wrong. Until then, we trust what he did.
Hold on a second, Mackie.
Yes.
Rocky, guess how long they're looking through this total station for? How many miles?
How long
they're looking through the total station, right, from point to point?
How many miles?
100 for this observation they gave us.
100 miles.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not
There you
true.
go.
No, I think it's more like 200 and the one I'm looking at is like 270 meters is the long distance.
Oh, Phil told me the one he sent me was 100 miles.
No, the guy
that's even worse.
The guy you debated the other day.
1,500 feet.
Yes.
I know.
No, I was talking about
Trust
this
me.
triangle, this spherical excess thing. This Phil KO, the one he sent me, the one I sent you, Witsit. Phil told me that was 100 miles.
Yeah, we'll try and
I just debated a
we're
dude that
talking about
does
the
it,
debate,
though.
Jeremy.
So
I
you
thought
know.
you were
Try
talking about
focus.
this
Well, no, but
spherical
I'm just saying in general. Like, I don't care what he has to say because I've realized quickly that even parts that who's like the home run hitter for you guys in this scenario, that he agreed with me on or just conceded and acknowledged to be objectively true. You people are arguing them in here. It's really weird.
Another question for you. You believe in geometry, right? You accept geometry, right?
Well, I accept geometry as a useful description of shapes,
All right.
sure.
And so let's say I was standing X miles from a mountain, all right? And let's say we know that mountain is Y in height, right? Do we agree on that? Can we know those things?
The width and height.
No, the distance to the mountain is X, and the height of the mountain is Y.
Yeah.
Can we agree that you and I, me and you, two people in
Yes.
this world can know those things? Okay.
Yeah, because the elevation of the mountain is relative to sea level.
Okay, hold on. And so then can we assume that based on geometry, we can figure out the angle at which that mountain should rise from my eye level?
Now,
And
real
that
fast.
that should be the sine of Y over X, right?
Okay, so you have to factor in the elevation, right?
The elevation is Y.
The angle will tell you the elevation.
Oh, so you don't need to know how tall the mountain is.
No.
That's what I just said. Y is how tall the mountain is,
exactly.
right?
See, Xanax disagreeing with you because he's just a loser.
There's two ways to do it. You can know
Xanax,
it.
shut up.
I don't interrupt you, except for the other day.
Okay, so the elevation, right? You need to know the
So
elevation.
the elevation.
Okay, do you agree elevation is distance above sea level?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so would you agree that's different on a flat Earth than it is on a globe
Sure,
Earth?
exactly.
Okay, so that's a major assumption from the very beginning that we automatically have to disagree on, right?
Hold on. If the Earth were flat, right? Let's start with that assumption. If the Earth were flat, so I'm not assuming an R. If the Earth were flat,
then we'd have the elevations based on the sea level because it is level and flat. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're assuming the Earth is flat.
Like it is, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, fine. And so I'm X miles from it, right?
Yes.
And it's Y, and it's Y height, right?
Above sea level, yes.
Okay, and well, we'll say it's Y height above me, and we'll say I'm standing at sea level. My feet are at sea level, right?
Okay.
And I can see this mountain, and I can see this mountain in the distance, and we know it has a height of Y.
Does this actually exist?
Can we just try to agree on something?
When you say you're standing at sea level, you're looking at a mountain, and what's the distance?
Yes. I know you're always in resistance mode.
I'm not, and I just want some substantive specificity, man.
I'm just putting, say I'm standing at sea level. It's a hypothetical situation. And the mountain is X miles away, and it's Y height.
Okay.
I put one in the chat for you if you want to.
Yes. Can we agree to those parameters?
Yeah, the elevation relative to sea level is different on a ball. Go ahead.
I don't care about a ball. I'm talking about flat Earth right
go
now.
ahead.
I'm stipulating to world. Okay. So we can agree that the sine of that angle would be Y over X, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. And so if I were to take some kind of measuring device, maybe a theodolite or something, and from Y over X, the sine of Y over X in this case, let's say it's 40 degrees. Or 37 degrees, right? We'll say 37 just for sake, right? So would you expect on your flat Earth, if I took a measuring device and pointed it at 37 degrees towards that mountain, would I see the peak of that mountain?
Sure, because the only thing that I would expect is that you wouldn't see what the angle actually was.
I don't care about the angle. What
you
I
just
what
invoked the angle,
okay
man.
with that line that I agree. Why the sign of the sign of the angle for y over x, that ratio. Let's say it turned out to be 37 degrees.
But it's never going to be what it really is. It can't be.
Why not? It's a flat Earth. Everything's
You're looking through the atmosphere.
Okay. So what you're saying though is it sounds like you're admitting it's never going to be 37. Hold on. This doesn't. There's no lens. There's just like a pipe, and you point that pipe at 37
dude, this thought experiment is so detached from reality at this point. It doesn't even matter.
Okay, so you don't even want to go with me down this
hypothetical nonsense that's never happened. Go ahead.
Okay, so do you have any idea on how close it should be to pointing actually at the top of that mountain?
So we stand at the ground with an unspecified distance, and you're asking me how much it should be off.
In a hypothetical.
But you're asking for an answer that would require you to have specified the distance.
Okay, let's specify.
But what we do know would change the day.
Hold on.
Scott, that's why I got a picture for you.
Hold on.
That's why I got a picture for you to back it up.
I got you.
A picture for you with the scale.
You're always freaking out, man. Drink a beer or something.
With a picture. You need some visuals here. You are not able to follow.
We get it.
Hold on. Let's say you're 100 miles away from this mountain. 100 miles.
Okay.
And this mountain is roughly 2 miles. Well, shit, my angle's going to be way off of 37 degrees.
Yeah, but I got the MRAD already.
I
already got Sandy Cinco, and I already got the angular measurement on there already. We know it's 11,000 feet. We know the MRAD.
Help.
Why not?
Okay, well, you have to know for sure, like, is the mountain tilted on a globe Earth? The mountain would be tilted backwards.
Okay,
where we see it.
I'm not
but the mountain would be tilted backwards on the globe.
Please stop, please. I'm begging you, man.
I know
please
you
let
are.
me do this.
Yeah, please let him do this. Please let him walk into this decapitation arrogantly.
We're saying it's a flat Earth. We're looking at a flat Earth model.
So reality, go ahead.
Okay.
I don't have a model, but reality,
that mountain is vertical, yet? Yes.
Are all mountains vertical? But sure, in this thought experiment, we'll just pretend to exclude that factor also. Okay. Go ahead.
We can drop a line through the center of that mountain, right from that peak, and
we can't actually ever do that, but we'll just pretend that we can also. Go ahead.
Pretend.
Scott, you're killing me.
Yeah, I know.
You're playing into his game. You know that.
No, I don't.
Hold on.
That's why it's funny. You know.
Hold on, Scott. For a second.
You're not going to let me argue. You just can't let me do
Sandy,
this.
I think everyone would rather hear the other guy talk, believe it or not. You're just too much right now.
Stay away from his little traps. Stop talking hypotheticals. Stay physical. We have enough information to kill him. Just don't go off the beaten path. Don't go off the beaten
path. Do you go to sleep thinking your little mountain observation actually proves the Earth's a ball? Do you actually go to sleep thinking that?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, absolutely. I'm the one scared of truth, though.
We'll go for round 2 with you. We'll go for round 2 when Scott's done with you.
I'm saying I'm scared of truth because you're looking through the atmosphere.
Was that on a no refraction day, Zanuck? Was that mountain on a no refraction?
That was the no refraction, no lens day. You didn't hear it? We're at exactly sea level, looking at a mountain, no lens.
You can stop running and bring this back.
100 miles away, no lens.
You can stop running. Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not running. I haven't even had to take a step back yet.
Fine. 100 miles. We'll say it's a 2,000 or 10,000 foot mountain, or roughly a 2 mile high mountain. So we have a 2/100 ratio, right? And that should yield an angle, right? Yes, no?
Of course.
And it's an angle. It's an angle that's knowable, right? We can calculate that angle, right?
Sure.
And so let's say we had this tube we looked through, no lenses, no glass to mess anything up, and we tilted that tube at that angle that we calculated. You and I stand there together. Do you think that that tube would be pointing anywhere near at the top of that mountain?
Well, no, because whenever you are going to look through 100 miles of the atmosphere, it's going to change what you perceive. This is what we call objective. And so to pretend it would be the exact angle, even if it was completely, literally on a flat earth and horizontal with its elevation relative to the sea level, to think that somehow you would see exactly that through 100 miles is laughable.
What I don't understand is standard refraction makes things loom. Typically, it would make angles more extreme, not worse. It would do.
Well, I go to that mountain every single day and tell me what it looks like.
Hold on for a sec.
Dun, dun, dun. Y'all want to always get past that. Y'all want to cherry pick one observation when the atmosphere changes hour to hour and day to day.
A snapshot, usually, not even a video.
Yeah, and we want to compile all the data from all the locations, look at all the effects. We're the ones actually doing the real work.
Kind of like the Black Swan?
What's up?
How far off do you think your angle would be?
It would literally be relative to the atmosphere.
I gave you 100 miles. I gave you the height of the mountain. I gave you everything that you wanted specifically. Can you give me a specific number of how far it would be off?
No, because you're literally overlooking the most important factor that affects what you're seeing when you look over there.
All at once.
That would be stupid.
The atmosphere.
I heard you the first time. How much does the atmosphere distort something?
It's always fluctuating.
By how much?
Because it's the atmosphere.
Why would it make the mountain go down then?
Well, because the light bends relative to the density of the atmosphere, to the energy that's being introduced into it, to the layers of the energy in between you and whatever you're actually observing, and the humidity.
Okay, why would that make it go down?
Does the light bend down or up? Depending on the atmosphere being denser going down as we see it.
We know you want to try to drag me through the mud, Zanuck, like I haven't had the conversation 100 times. And every single time you do it, I know the answer to every one of your dumb questions.
Bend upward? Can the light ever bend
please stop.
upward
No
to
one cares what you're talking about.
a lesser density?
We
Can we
know.
ever see that in reality? Ever.
No, y'all just don't want to hear me say what actually is the truth. Y'all are scared.
So what's it?
We're trying to help you.
What's it?
Trying to help me.
Yes. Well,
y'all think passports pop out of explosions, and y'all are trying to help me. Please help me.
Let's stick to the topic, Witsit.
Yeah. Please help me out here.
Let's stick to the topic. Witsit, let's stick to the topic.
I've already responded. Y'all are whistling past it like 5-year-olds.
Let me ask you the question then, and then you can respond. You said it bends. You said light bends. What that means? Let me see if I just agree with you. Is that we agree that we see the top of the mountain because there's a photon being emitted from that mountaintop.
No.
That's reaching our eye, right?
No.
How do we see then?
Well, I can literally disprove that light is little physical particles named photons going from point A to point B. But what you're seeing is the light. And when I say it bends, like it doesn't physically bend, right? That was just a matter. Like I'm not a crazy person like, I don't know, Einstein. But light, the perception of the light, right? The perception of the light itself, it appears to bend and change in many different ways.
You
and
mean
all you're actually
propagation
seeing
of the light? Is that what you mean?
you can call it propagation if you want to, but if you're going to say that it's speed based on your misinterpretation of what's going on, then you're just begging the question and it's stupid.
Hold on for a second.
Yeah, this is what we call making shit up.
No, this is called I can fucking demonstrate it.
I need to understand you with it.
I'm sorry that you want to cling on to your priesthood and your little religion they crafted for you.
What is it about light that causes your eye to see something?
2015?
2016. I heard about flat Earth, and it's not a religion because it's not an empirical belief void of it's not a belief system void of empirical evidence like the globe is.
Concentrate for a sec.
Okay.
Focus.
Yeah, so no, there's no photon. You're observing the light through the mediums. We have the physical. I'm going to keep talking then. There's a physical material medium, right? And that's the air that we breathe, right? And that affects light drastically, or at least the perception of what we call light, what light is, the perception of it. Now, we also, in the lunacy that is 2020 and clown world, say that virtual particles come in and out of existence, and that means they came from nothing. But truthfully, that isn't nothing. There's something there too. That affects your perception of the light because your light itself requires that medium to even become become perceivable, because that's what it is. It's excitation of the medium. So you're compiling the medium itself with the energy being input, and the physical at medium in addition to that, with all the energy being input with that, and it's affecting what you perceive drastically. That's why we have such great fluctuation. You're making physical claims within this window of immense fluctuation that eludes the comprehension of 99% of consensus. It's a joke.
What causes your eye to see?
Word salad.
Okay, word salad. What causes my... It's
Yeah.
not the little fairy tale that a photon comes and bounces in my eye.
What is it?
Well, what you do is you perceive the excitation of the medium or the illumination rate. It makes it illuminate to where it's perceivable because it's part of a certain spectrum of light that we can now see.
But how do you perceive it? What happens in your eye that allows you to perceive?
What does that have to do with what light is? I don't want to play your little anatomical games where if I say something the wrong way, then you're just going to think you won because you're acting like a 5-year-old, but you're like 5 with a 0 at the end.
Where did you learn this at?
Well, this is just common sense. I can actually practically demonstrate that the photon's not a physical part.
So
No, I can practically demonstrate. Do you know what that means?
Do you believe that you have optic nerves?
What practically demonstrate means?
Do you know what optic nerves are?
Yes.
What are optic nerves?
I'm not defining them.
He doesn't know.
You know about
I'm not playing the little games of 5-year-olds. The fact that y'all think that I'm just like your little bitch is laughable. You're always trying to divert. You're like, hey, can you define this and this and this and how is it this and can you? What is this? Because you think somehow the way that our eyes perceive, the way our eyes send it. How about you keep interrupting me like a fucking loser? So it's objectively known that the eyes are not fully. Yeah, interrupt me like a clown.
You can talk real fast and make shit up.
It's known objectively. It's objectively known, which means that you're fucking wrong and probably really stupid at the same time. It's objectively known that humans don't fully understand the eye. So please let some stupid, low IQ, uninformed, ignorant person contend it. Someone in this room be stupid enough to contend that statement that we do not fully understand the eyes yet. Go ahead.
But if something's blocking the light,
no, respond to the statement. Do we fully understand eyes? No, we don't even understand them much at all, though, right? No, we don't. We don't understand. We don't understand eyes. Yeah, I've talked to one about it.
You talk.
No, because he told me that that's how he knows God's real, because we can't even fully understand eyes, and that was his specialty. Yeah, I talked to different people. I know it's crazy for you people to understand.
You make that up, don't you?
Okay, so he didn't tell me that one of the ways that we know God's real is because of the eye complexity itself. When I was at a bar chilling with my friends, and he was somebody that one of my friends knew. Oh no!
And Whitsett managed to deflect it off of that.
No, I did not. He tried to talk me through. You're such a douchebag, bro. Shut up. He tried to talk me through orthotics. Shut up. He tried to talk me through orthotics. You're trying to lie on me, like always. He tried to talk me through some thought experiment where he didn't want to specify the distance, didn't want to specify in the parameters. Said assume that we're. You said assume we're not using actual lensing or optics.
That's what you said. Being a coward and stay on topic.
I'm trying to. What his topic was, we're looking at a mountain away from us.
You are an intellectual coward.
You're self-projecting.
You have to deflect.
You know, I have it recorded where I just
play it back. You said
you were intellectually dishonest the whole time. No, I have it on my computer. You want me to put it on my YouTube? Is that what you want?
Nothing.
All right, I'll chop you up when I dismantled you and you constantly back the question and stupid shit.
You claim you dismantle people.
Rocket science. Yeah, I did. Actually, I've dropped more links in here than everyone in this room combined, probably, in the last 2 weeks. Who's talking right now? How many links have you provided?
How many links would you like me?
Well, you're saying I don't provide good links. What about your link game? What's up with you? Apparently, you know everything.
I guarantee that every link you provide actually.
Okay, so would you like to bet like how much money on it? Okay, would anyone in this room like to concede and at least be honest in this one little part? Yeah, you have to interrupt me. That numerous times I've been challenged to be wrong in this room. I've tried to keep my cool and I go get the information. I'm just going to keep talking through it. I try to keep my cool, and I go get the information that's happened in this room probably 50 times. I go get the info. While I go get it on Push to Talk, everyone talks crazy. I bring it back. I cite it specifically. People immediately argue when I read it word for word. I explain the context. It's exactly what it says. They then say, but look, in page 400, it says the Earth's a ball. You're an idiot. And I says, a hostile witness.
You interpret it to your own benefit.
No. Normally, like, for example, when we're explaining geodetic surveying, I say, look, this is how they do it. You say, no, that's not what happens. I go get it, and then someone goes to the top paragraph and says, look, it says the Earth's a ball. You're an idiot. And really, I'm responding to the invoking of geodetic surveying from the spherical side. That's how stupid this room is. That's how stupid this room is.
Why do you keep coming back?
Do you agree this room operates at a very low intellectual level?
Why do you keep, if it's so stupid, why do you keep coming back?
There are a few people here that when they're honest and not so defensive and a contrarian, that there's actually productive conversation to be had because it's okay to have opposing views. But y'all act like y'all know everything.
The funny thing is, you're not one of them with it.
Oh, wow. So that's a cool story, but you're just afraid your fairy tale's not real. And I'm young enough to just accept it. I guess you're going to hold on to it till you die. I don't know. It's weird. It's like going around and saying that everything the Soviet Union told their population was real or something. It's so weird. It's so forin to me. Santa's real, I promise.
Spherical access, get back to the topic.
Will you answer one question for me?
Grand revealing of flat Earth is going to be. When do you think that's going to happen, Witsit?
I don't know, but I did. Well, did you hear that it was talked about during a playoff game on national television? So, I mean,
playoff game.
Yeah, like a Major League Baseball playoff game. Major League Baseball playoff game. They were talking about how the St. Louis Cardinals roster, like most of them are flat earthers. They start naming them, and then they name he's like the smartest guy on the team. Name his name, flat earther. They talk about it on national television during the playoff game for like 5 minutes.
I think we need Curve to step in and talk about and verify your baseball story.
I'll just send the video if you want to see it.
Sure, I'm sure you have a video.
Send it. Hey, Witsit, I have a question.
Yeah, they
for
probably.
They probably all. I know you don't like trigonometry. You don't like geometry that much.
So I'm not listening to this gamma little
we didn't get to finish our conversation.
Backhanded bullshit.
And I got the two mountains, one over twice as tall as the first one, that's well below. I have multiple observations from that mountain. Now, without any complicated trigonometry, I know you don't like doing math. This is just an observation. You can talk about your photons or your illuminated atmosphere all you want. The point here is
See, dude, I don't think anyone in here likes hearing these things.
The point is that when you look through the atmosphere, as you know, that
we get it. You're a zealot. Bro, what is the source of your zealotry? Do you want to go to space one day? Is that what it is? You think that we're actually going to escape because Earth's bad or something and we're going to go to space? Is that what you think?
Phil, get in there.
Hi, I'm here. Hello.
Okay, here we go.
Phil, you think we're just going to go to space one day? Is that why you
We've already been in space many times. I've had a balloon go.
But do you think everyone, like all the people, are going to get to go to space one day? Is that what y'all think?
Not all the people. Some people
will. Do you believe in the Marianas Trench?
Well, they said space tourism is right around the corner.
But they said that for 20 years, actually. So